Hiya everyone, Xeon over here from Nintendo Life, and you know what? I was really skeptical about Donkey Kong Bananza when I first saw it. That initial trailer and those few in-depth treehouse segments that we had didn't really sell me on the experience. Even the brief demo that I played at the Switch 2 experience didn't do much for me. And that's really because I wanted the next 3D Donkey Kong game to be in a certain style and have certain elements. And when it didn't have those things, I was pretty upset. And is that a me problem? Yeah, but I'm only human, I'm just trying to be honest. But the latest Nintendo Direct completely changed my tune. And there were actually a few details lurking in the background, things that Nintendo didn't entirely explain, but we still noticed. Oh, and there were a few things that Nintendo shared on their Japanese website as well that we want to share with you too, if you're curious. I know you're curious. With this new Odd Rock character, which we then learned is actually Pauline, I was quite worried that Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong wouldn't make an appearance in this game. They don't need to be riding around on the back of DK anymore, do they, since he's got a new friend. But it turns out I had nothing to worry about. Diddy Kong and Dixie can actually be found multiple times throughout the trailer, sitting at a ticket counter for what appears to be a racetrack called Ramby Rumble. Well, we at least know you'll get to race against them, and they'll have a Ramby, and you'll have a Ramby, which makes me wonder. I always thought Ramby was the rhino's name, not like the kind of creature it is, but well, each Ramby will have a few barrels strapped to him, and you can use that to boost, it seems. And it looks like a fun little diversion. Cranky and another Ramby are also buddying up this time. I'm thinking it's going to be something sort of like Peach and Tiara in Mario Odyssey. He's probably going to give you hints, but it also seems like he may give you a Banandium gem every time you find him. At least he does in Lagoon Lair if the mission log is to be believed. Now, the North American Donkey Kong Bananza Direct doesn't actually state how old Pauline is. She seems like she's younger than she is in Mario Odyssey, but right now we don't even know if these games are connected, so I was thinking maybe this is just a shorter, stylized version of Pauline, but with the help of Google Translate, the Japanese website actually states that she's 13. So maybe there really is a chance that the story of Mario Odyssey, New Donk City, and now Donkey Kong Bananza are connected. We don't know for certain, but we at least know her age now. We also know now that a few classic Donkey Kong tracks are making a return to this game as well. Simeon Segway and DK Island Swing from the original Donkey Kong Country and Super Nintendo, originally composed by David Wise, are both making a return in remixed forms. And Grant Kirkhope's DK Rap from Donkey Kong 64 also makes a return, but it seems like it's strangely called Getaway in the music list. It is a remix, but it also seems like Grant didn't know anything about this once again either, so I wonder if we'll even see his name in the credits. It'd just be nice to see him recognized for this again, you know? Oh, and the new DK Artist mode. It's like if Donkey Kong had his own art studio for the 64 DD. There's actually a little 3DS and DSi Easter egg here though. You see that green parakeet? If you ever used the sound app on the DSi or the 3DS or the camera on the 3DS, it may look familiar as it actually hangs out and talks to you when you use the app. Speaking of making art out of rocks, different boulders and materials in Donkey Kong Bananza will actually have different properties. This is never mentioned verbally in the Direct, but it's shown on screen a few times, those sort of blink and you'll miss it moments. In the lava areas, you'll actually be able to use an icy rock to clear away the lava and progress forward. And in the beach layer, which is actually new to this Direct, we hadn't seen this before, you'll actually find a rainbow rock that seems to be full of helium and it'll let you float in the air. Now, I love the idea of the costumes. I feel like it's another great carryover from a game like Super Mario Odyssey, but this time each piece of equipment actually gives DK and Pauline special effects, like the equipment does in most games, or like in Breath of the Wild, for example. But unlike in Breath of the Wild, you actually have to go back to your room to change your clothing at a wardrobe. I was worried this was going to be a huge pain, and it reminded me instantly of the headache of changing out characters in Donkey Kong 64. I love backtracking. But we also learned in the Direct that you'll be able to build these getaways all throughout the layers, and they'll have a wardrobe that you can change clothes in within them. Now, I definitely assumed this was going to be a one getaway per layer sort of situation, but if you actually take a look at this clip here and you zoom in, you'll be able to see that DK has built 5 different getaways in the canyon layer alone. So maybe it won't feel like such a hassle to change into some new clothing if you need it after all. Now we know that the land of Ingot Isle is divided up into different sub-layers, and in combination with some details that we found on the Japanese website and some details from the direct, we figured out a good chunk of the names of the layers or the levels and what order they'll appear in. Sublayer 10, the first one, is Ingot Isle, the cave-in. Sublayer 100 is Lagoon Layer. This is the one with yellow grass that looks a lot like the Sky Islands in Tears of the Kingdom. Then sublayer 200 is the Hilltop Layer. This area has blue and green grass and will likely feature the Ramby Rumble race. Sublayer 300 is the Canyon Layer, which is mostly brown and orange, and lots of dust and dirt. Sublayer 400 we actually don't know yet, but sublayer 500, while we don't know the name, it is icy and the most common colors you'll find are purple and white. I'm also confident that the lava areas that we've seen throughout the direct will also be in this area too, as the relics featured on screen from the icy areas and the lava areas match up. But there's also a really quick glimpse where you can see DK picking up some ice and chucking it into some lava. Then sublayer 600 is the forest layer. This is mostly green and purple. Sublayer 700, we don't know yet either. And then sublayer 800, we don't have the name yet, but we do know this is the beach level, which will be full of blue skies, blue oceans, and brown sandy beaches. There is potentially one other layer that we get a quick glimpse of, a layer that's ravaged by tornadoes. At the end of the direct, we also get a quick glimpse of this green and blue cave and this area drowning in gold lava. You'll also be able to see relics of Winky and On Guard up in the top right corner here in this golden lava cave as well. Now, even though we now know so much more about Donkey Kong Bonanza, there's still a lot that we don't know, and that mystery is a lot of fun. It's good to have those surprises. That's one of the best parts about playing video games, is that you just don't know what's going to be around the corner. We don't know what other kind of levels are going to be in the game or what other kind of Bonanza powers there might be. We don't know if Kate Higgins is going to be reprising her role as Pauline in this game like she did in Super Mario Odyssey. She is such a skilled singer, I wouldn't be surprised that Nintendo asked her to come back. We did reach out to her to see if she could confirm or deny if she's coming back to voice Pauline, but we've not heard back at this point. And we still don't even know what reason Voidco would have to kidnap Pauline in the first place. And why are Grumpy Kong and the rest of Voidco making these big Kremling-like enemies using crocodile skeletons? Maybe they're familiar with the Kremlings and the rivalry they've had with the Kongs, and they're trying to revive King K. Rool or something. I mean, the Kremlings aren't around, so they must have died or something. And we still don't even know who's making this game yet. All signs point towards the Super Mario Odyssey team. I would be very surprised if it wasn't them at this point. The overall production quality, the platforming, the cutscenes, the musical direction with Pauline, it all screams that same team. It's almost like Nintendo is holding back on telling everyone because everybody wants to know. And everybody also thinks they know already, so there's that too. But of course, let us know in the comments down below what you think you know about Donkey Kong Bonanza, and let us know what you're most looking forward to in the game as well. And of course, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this, then why don't you toss a big ol' ice block into that subscribe button and then ring that notification bell to be notified whenever we put up new videos like this. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Zion from Nintendo Life. Stay safe out there, and we will see you all next time.